All right. Fatal Fury card just ended. New York City. It was a very interesting setup that they had in New York City. I was interested to see how they would pull it together. I was interested to see if it was open to the general public. It didn't really look like it was. They had it kind of gated off, which was kind of weird. And only a certain amount of people actually were allowed in. But looked like a dope event, a cool thing for them to do, early in the day, in the outdoor atmosphere. It was something different. So hats off to Turkey Al Sheik, continuing to revolutionize the game and, just do different, just try shit, bro. Just spice the game up. That's what he's done in the couple years that he's been involved. He's just spicing the game up, and, you can't hate on him for it. But as far as the overall fights, I don't think it turned out as exciting as we all thought it would be. Me personally, I didn't think this would be as much of a night of bangers as everyone else did. This is a fight card of big names, but not of big matchups. All the big names were not even really facing each other. They all were, per se, in like tune-ups or stay busy fights, some would say. Some of them didn't turn out to really be that, but that's what pretty much most of them were presented as. Teofimo wasn't that. He was, retaining his belt. Haney was just a get-back fight to see if he could gain his confidence back. And Ryan Garcia was kind of a, Rolly Romero was a guy that a lot of people thought he should beat, could beat, would beat, and damn it, he did not. But we're going to start from the bottom, work our way up. Teofimo gets the win. Masterclass of a performance. And I think Teofimo proved again, bro, when he's on his game, and I'll talk about this a little bit later, Teofimo is of the highest tier that you can be. He is of the highest tier that you can be at the lightweight division. 116, 112 twice, 118, 110 once. I thought it could have been 118, 110 across the board. Did have a moment against Barboza where he got hurt a little bit. Barboza landed some decent punches. Teofimo's not a guy that, even when he has his virtuoso, flawless, great, shutout type performances, he still will get hit. He still will get a little, welts on his eyes. He makes it exciting. In that 12th round, he definitely was kind of going for it. I thought that he went for it. If he went for it a little bit more, he might have been able to get the finish, but I can't complain about his performance. He probably had the best fight of the night. Wasn't a super banger, but comparatively speaking, as we're going to talk about the next two fights, we just had a decline as the card went on. Because it's funny enough, Teofimo was the first fight. And in my opinion, and the opinion of anybody with an informed eye of watching the sport of boxing, he's the best person on the damn card. Somebody in the chat said, what time does the fight start? Brother, the fights are over, man. Fights ended. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about Teofimo. Great performance. I'd love to see what he does next. I'd love to see him against Boots Ennis. If that's something he wants to do, stay, challenge himself at 147, Boots Ennis. After what ended up happening in the main event, Rolly Romero maybe. Tank. Anybody. I'm watching Teofimo against anybody. Even when he doesn't show up and have his best nights, that Kambosos fight was still damn entertaining. So, nothing but hats off for Teofimo. Great performance from him. But now, we'll get to the gloomy part of the card. Devin Haney. Devin Haney beats Jose Ramirez by unanimous decision. 119, 109 times 2, and 118, 110 on one card. Didn't fight great. I thought he eased into the fight a little bit the more it went on, but early he definitely looked not a little, but very tentative, very jumpy, very unsure of himself. And as the fight went on, he kind of started to open up. He kind of, slowed down with the jittery feet. He calmed himself down. He started throwing some punches. He started countering. He started throwing the jab. And he started to look like Devin Haney a little bit. But this does open concerns for me for his future. And the reason why is if he was in that ring again today, that performance he put on today against Teofimo Lopez, oh my God. Against Tank Davis, oh my God. I mean, he didn't look great tonight either, but the way that he was so passive on the back foot, keeping his back along the ropes and selectively giving up the center of the ring. Jose Ramirez was able to take the center of the ring pretty much whenever he wanted. Devin Haney was giving up that position and wasn't standing his ground pretty much the whole fight. I don't even know if this version of him would beat Ryan. And we'll talk about that in a minute because, good Lord, his performance also. Like I said, the card just kept up here. This was Teofimo's fight. So yeah, Haney wins. Didn't look great. Jose Ramirez, I mean, there were so many moments I was yelling at my TV screen in the stream. Y'all saw it. I'm yelling at my screen where Devin Haney is submissively giving up center of the ring, backing up against the rope, not jabbing. And Ramirez has him cornered, has him against the ropes, and he just doesn't throw any punches. You have him in a compromised position, and you just don't throw any punches. It's like, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Real competition, real A-tier fighters would have definitely been able to expose Devin Haney the way that he looked tonight, and I wasn't too impressed with him. Somebody in the chat says he ain't getting hit, though. Yeah, that's true. He did do a good job of not getting hit, but as I said, Jose Ramirez had him in a lot of compromising positions and out of position and against the ropes and in the corner, and he was just not really on the attack enough when he could have been. Someone that's really on the attack and someone that really is on the front foot and someone that's not scared at all and in their prime and confident. They could have done some things to Haney tonight. But he gets a win. His confidence, he looked confident towards the end of the fight. He started to open up. I thought he looked better as the fight went on. And he gets the win, so we can't shit on him too much like we're about to on the next guy. But I think tonight proved for Ryan and for Devin that there's another tier above them. There is another tier above them. They're not in the absolute tip-top tier. I think there's a whole tier above Haney and above Ryan. And as we move on to Ryan Garcia losing to Rolly Romero, again, I reflect. I think the A tier in this division, I know everybody's moving up and down in 147 and 140 and 135 and everything. Everybody's moving around. We all know these guys are right around the same weight, and we know all these guys are kind of in contention to fight each other. But the A tier, to me, even after his last performance, I'm still going to put Tank in there. I'm putting Tank in A tier. I'm putting Teofimo in A tier. And until he proves me wrong, I'm still going to put Shakur up there. I know Shakur hasn't had the elite win that we're looking for. I know everyone calls him boring. But Shakur, the version we saw tonight, Shakur beats Haney. The version we saw tonight, Shakur beats Ryan. The version we saw tonight, Teofimo probably stops both of them also. So there's just a whole other tier over Haney and over Ryan. They're B class. They're B tier. It's just reality. Devin Haney became a champion. Congratulations. But if this was in some way structured in a way like the UFC is structured, where the champion will always have to fight the number one contender to become champion, and you can't, kind of conveniently get one belt and then grab one belt and kind of pick and choose your way to the belt and end up getting the belt off of a Kambosos. I don't think Haney would have been champion the same way that Ryan Garcia has never been a world champion. If Haney had to go through Tank, if Haney had to go through Teofimo, if Haney had to go through Shakur, I think he never becomes champion. He became champion off of a convenient timing, and he took full advantage of that, and I give commends to that. I like Haney, but he's just not of that A tier. Somebody said, when's the fight start? Buddy, the fights are over. The fights just ended. I'm doing a recap right now. And to close out the recap, Ryan Garcia versus Rolly Romero, the last fight of the night. And my God, I won money, so I ain't mad about it. But this is Ryan Garcia showing us who he really is. This is Ryan Garcia showing us who he really is. A lot of people that are casual watchers, they saw the Haney fight and they thought that he's the most exciting fighter in the world. They thought that he's, always the wild, getting in a brawl, drinking in the press conferences. That's not who he really has been in his whole career. Maybe he should bring that side out again. But tonight he showed who he was pretty much his whole career. He's not super skilled. A lot of his fights, he might get down on the scorecards. A lot of his fights, he may be getting outscored, and then he finds that left hook. And if he can't find the left hook, he'll probably be in trouble. And he wasn't able to land it tonight. He wasn't able to land it against Tank. That's why the Devin Haney embarrassment from that fight is almost warranted. Because you lost to a dude that really is very dependent on one punch. And Rolly Romero came out, dropped him in the second round. I thought Ryan looked pretty good early. I'd probably give Ryan the first. He gets dropped in the second, and then I gave Ryan the third. And then the fourth and fifth, sixth, it was close. But I thought that second half of the fight, Rolly took over. Ryan doesn't throw enough punches. The left hook wasn't landing. And he doesn't throw combinations. So when the left hook isn't there, what else does he really have? Honestly, we saw that. What did he throw? What did he throw that was of any threat to Rolly tonight? Everybody in the chat was saying, just hold on. Just wait. He's going to land the left hook. Just wait. He's baiting him. Just wait. Just wait. He's going to knock him out. Just wait. What did he land that really hurt? He threw some jabs. He missed with a lot of left hooks. He's just not in that top tier, bro. I'm putting Tank up here. I'm putting Teofimo up here. And for now, I'm putting Shakur up here. But you just, y'all can't say he was dehydrated. Y'all love to say that for the Tank fight. Y'all can't say that tonight. He can't be dehydrated at 135 and dehydrated at 147. He got the weight class of his choice. Y'all can't say he was drinking during the fight week. Y'all can't say he was out of his mind and not focused. You can't say none of it. Rolly beat him. And I think next for Rolly could be Rolly versus Teofimo could be fun. But I think the ultimate he didn't realize how strong Rolly was. He should have. Have y'all seen the sparring sessions? Have y'all seen the sparring sessions? This fight tonight looked damn near like the sparring session from 8 years ago that goes viral. Every time anybody's talking shit about Ryan Garcia, this clip goes viral of Rolly Romero beating his ass in sparring 8 years ago. And everybody said, oh, that was 8 years ago. Ryan was like, 19? Ryan was so young. That ain't a real fight. Watch how it happens in the real fight. Ryan's the big name. Ryan's going to take it. This fight ain't look too different. He just don't have the arsenal. He didn't have the arsenal to keep Rolly off of him. Somebody in the chat says, because he didn't knew that much then. Like what? Come on, bro. What are you saying? He wasn't a professional then. Obviously, you get better and better. Yeah. He wasn't a professional then. He's a professional now. He got better and better. And guess what? 8 years later, he still fucking lost to. Rolly Romero. So what does that comment even have to do with anything? Come on, bro. Let's use our thinking caps. Put our thinking caps on, guys. Let's sit crisscross applesauce in a circle. Put our thinking caps on. That explains why Rolly was so comfortable in stepping and say, yeah, that's what I'm saying. People that want to say any person getting the best of somebody else in a sparring session means something in a fight. Even if the guy that was losing in the sparring session you think is way better now, the mental aspect of the fact that that person was really putting hands on him all those years back, that mental aspect still plays a part. And maybe that played a part tonight. I think just skill for skill, Ryan just doesn't have a full arsenal. But the mental aspect of the fact that, damn, this dude did beat me up in sparring. Yeah, I was 19, but I was 19. I was confident that day. I was on my shit that day. I was whooping everybody else, but for some reason he whooped my ass in sparring. Damn. And it sticks in your head 8 years later. And even when you step in that ring, even when you beat all these other people between now and then, and all your confidence build up, in the back of the head, you look that dude in the eye and you remember what he did to you all those years ago. It still plays a mental part in this fight all those years later. And Rolly took advantage of that. He took full advantage of that. And Rolly won this shit. Plain and simple, across the board. It was a little bit competitive early, but the second half of the fight, Rolly looked over. I'm looking at the scorecards right now. Let's look at the scorecards. The scorecards had Rolly winning 9, 10, 11, 12, 6. The other scorecard has Rolly winning 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, so the last 5 in a row. Another scorecard has Rolly winning 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the last 5 in a row. That's pretty much what I had. I had Ryan winning the first. I had Ryan winning the third, I believe. And then the fourth and the fifth was kind of not a lot happening. Obviously, Rolly dropped him in the second. And then from the sixth round on, it was pretty much the Rolly show, bro. It was his turn to look for eggs. Yeah, exactly. You want to talk that shit about, yeah, Ryan Garcia in the build-up want to talk all that shit about the fact that Rolly lost to Pitbull. Hey, brother, I don't know if you beat Pitbull. I don't know how confident I am in you beating Pitbull. I don't know how confident I am in Haney beating Pitbull. I think y'all are still in the same tier. That A tier, Teofimo, Tank, tentatively Shakur. That B tier is you, is Haney. And Pitbull right in that class with y'all. He might be better than both of y'all. Haney fought like he had PTSD. Yeah, he definitely did. Is Ryan still going to continue to fight even after he lost to Rolly? Yeah, I mean, he can still fight Haney if he wants. I mean, Rolly didn't seem interested in a rematch. He didn't seem interested in fighting Haney. He said, yeah, they should just rematch. Let them go rematch. They deserve each other. Y'all deserve each other. Are you streaming the fight? The fight's ended, brother. Fights are over. Already happened. Look on Google. The results are there. It already happened, man. I'm sorry. You missed it. So, yeah. Why is every boxer wanting to fight Haney? Because he's a big name with a lot of flaws. Same with Ryan. The only thing with Ryan, he's a big name with a lot of flaws, but he has power, so he might embarrass you. But Haney is a big name with a lot of flaws and no power, so he might beat you, but by decision, like it ain't that embarrassing. Like he ain't gonna knock you out. Somebody say because they want to get sued. Come on. On the bright side, Ryan is going to get a lot of opportunities to fight. Yeah, everybody wants to line up to fight him now. A lot of these dudes that y'all think are not on his level just because he's more popular will probably beat Ryan. Like Pitbull Cruz, I'm probably picking Pitbull over Ryan, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it a buck. And they was talking about Ryan versus. They was talking about Ryan versus Who was they talking about Ryan versus at 147? Boots. Boots. Ryan was acting like he wanted Boots. Oh. 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 Oh no. No, brother. Where's the soundboard? Brother,
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
What's that, brother? You ain't got it. Respectfully. I'm talking about these fighters in a respectful fashion. These niggas did great things in their life, but this is all, you know, everything has to be put in its proper place. You can't sugarcoat shit. And plain and simple, we've seen it. They just not on that level, bro. They can fight again. Let them rematch. But I don't think either one of them will ever be dominant world champions. Haney had his time. I don't think he'll ever be champion again. He can, but I don't see it, bro. There's just more complete fighters out there. Like when it comes to all these guys in these divisions, Teofimo might be the most complete. Ryan, like there's three big things. What was it? Power, skill, chin. Those are the three probably key things that a lot of people look at. Power, skill, chin. Let's look at Ryan. He has power. He has a decent chin, but he ain't skilled. He ain't that skilled. So he got like 1.5, 2 out of 3. Let's look at Haney. He has skill. He don't have power. And he don't really have that good of a chin. So he got like 1 out of 3. Then we got Tank. He got power. He got good skill. He's underrated skill. And a very good chin. So Tank would probably have like 2.5 out of 3. 2.5 out of 3. But Teofimo might have all 3, bro. Teofimo might be the only one that's got all 3. We got Shakur. Good chin. Seems like so far. Hasn't been tested, but good chin. Great defense. Great skill. Power. Teofimo might be the only one with the full package. And Tank is very close as well. I think the final boss battle is Teofimo and Tank. That's the fight I want to see. Thoughts on Boots versus Teo? That's another great fight. It might be too far of a reach as far as weight, and Boots can put it on him just because of the weight. But Teofimo is as complete of a fighter you can get on his best night, because he can be inconsistent. But Teofimo's the guy, and Ryan and Devin just aren't quite at that level. Let me know what y'all thought about the fights. I'm still going to stay live a little bit longer here, talk to my TikTok chat, but this is the end of my YouTube recap. Drop a comment, drop a like, subscribe. Let me know what y'all thought about the fights. We'll be live again tomorrow for the Canelo fight. Make sure y'all come through. Appreciate it. Peace out. Peace out, YouTube. All right.